past 30 years, and the founding president of Toastmasters Club called Best, Division C Evaluation Champion, the youngest area director of District 20, who considers Toastmasterism as his passion. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster. And Toastmaster Khurram Salman is going to speak on My Dear Josephine. My Dear Josephine by Toastmaster Khurram Salman.
Master of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good morning.
Good morning.
Napoleon was a humble soldier from Corsica who became a great general and emperor of France. And he married Josephine in March 1796. She was an impoverished aristocrat from the French colony of Martinique, with 2 children from an earlier marriage. The first 3 letters that I'm going to read were shortly after their marriage, when Napoleon had become the commander of French forces in Italy. The 4th dates to the Austrian War of 1805. In these letters, Napoleon casts himself as the supplicant at the mercy of this beautiful but hard-hearted wife, who sometimes even insists on using the formal vous instead of the affectionate tu. Now, in French, there are 2 ways you can address the other person as you. There are 2 ways. One is vous, and the other is tu. Vous is the formal one, for someone you do not know, for someone whom you're making a formal acquaintance. But tu is used for friends, for family, and for the loved ones. Since French are very stingy about their language, if you use vous instead of tu or tu instead of vous, they get really offended. So you have to know how to address the other person as vous or tu. There is something touching and almost comical about his anxious pursuit of his wife Josephine all over Italy while conducting military campaign at the same time. It became clear to both of them that later in their marriage, that neither had remained faithful to each other. And Josephine's extravagance was a constant source of friction between them. But it seems from these early letters that Napoleon was very much in love with his wife. However, Napoleon divorced Josephine in 1810 to marry Mary Louise of Austria in order to gain an heir and secure the succession of his throne. Josephine, on the other hand, continued to live in Paris and remained on good terms with Napoleon up until she passed away in 1814. After his defeat by the British, Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena in 1815, where he died 6 years later. The letters that I'm going to read are from the book called Love Letters of Great Men. The reason why I chose Napoleon in particular and this book is to let us know and share with you that all these great emperors and great generals who we see nothing but emperors and military persons had an affectionate side to them, and how persons such as Napoleon, who conquered many battles, was brought down to his knees by love. Josephine, I do not love thee anymore. On the contrary, I detest thee. Thou art hard, very awkward, very stupid, and very Cinderella. Thou dost not like me at all. Thou dost not love thy husband. Thou knowest the pleasure that thy letters afford him. But still, thou dost not write him 6 lines of even haphazard scribble. What do you do then all day, madame? What matter of such importance is it that takes your time from writing to your very good lover? What affection stifles and pushes on one side the love, the tender and constant love which you have promised him? Who can be this marvelous, this new lover who absorbs all your instincts, tyrannizes your entire days, and prevents you from being concerned about your husband? Josephine, beware that one fine night the doors will break open and I will be there. In truth, I am anxious, my love, at not receiving your news. Write me quickly 4 pages and say those amiable things which fill my heart with sentiment and pleasure. I hope before long to press you in my arms and shall shower on you 1,000,000 burning kisses under the apron. Josephine, I arrive at Milan, I rush into your apartment, I have left everything to see you, to press you in my arms. But you were not there. You run to towns when there are festivities. You leave me when I arrive. You do not care anymore for your dear Napoleon. It was a change your loving him. Fickleness makes you indifferent to him. I am accustomed to dangers. I know the remedy for worries and the ills of life. The misfortune that overtakes me is incalculable. I have the right to be spared this. I shall be here till the night in the evening. Do not put yourself out, Josephine. Don't run after the pleasures. Happiness is made for you. The entire world is too glad to be able to please you, but it is only I, your husband, who is very, very unhappy. Josephine, the great empress. Not a letter from you since your departure from Strasbourg. You have passed at Baden, at Stuttgart, at Munich, without writing a single word. That is not very admirable, nor very tender, Josephine. I'm still at Bonn. The Russians are gone, I have a truce. In a few days I shall decide what to do. But I request you, come down from the height of your greatness to occupy yourself a little of your humble slaves. Josephine, I have not spent a day without loving you. I have not spent a night without embracing you. I have not so much as drank 1 cup of tea without cursing the pride and ambition which forced me to remain apart from the moving spirit of my life, that is you. In the midst of my duties, whether I am at the head of my army or inspecting the camps, my beloved Josephine stands in my heart. She occupies my mind and fills my thoughts. If I am moving away from you, it is only so that I may see you again more quickly. If I rise to work in the middle of the night, it is because it may hasten by a matter of days the arrival of my sweet love. Yet in your letter of 23rd and 26th, you call me Boo? Boo yourself! How could you have written this? How cold it is! And then there are those those 4 days between the 23rd and the 26th? What were you doing that you failed to write your husband? Ah, my love, that woo and those 4 days make me long for my former efforts. Woe to the person responsible. May he, as punishment and penalty, experience what my convictions and evidence would make me experience. Hell has no torments great enough, nor do the Furies have serpents enough. Woo? Woo? How will things stand in these 2 weeks? My spirit is heavy. My heart is fettered, and I am terrified by my fantasies. You love me less, but you will get over the loss. One day, you might not love me no longer. Then tell me, at least tell me, and I shall know how I have come to deserve this misfortune. Farewell, my life. Farewell, my life. The torment, joy, hope, and the moving spirit of my life. Whom I love, whom I fear, who fills me with tender feelings which draw me close to nature, and with violent impulses as the thunder. Ask you neither eternal love nor fidelity, but simply truth, the unlimited honesty. The day when you say I love you less will mark the end of my love and the last day of my life. If my heart were base enough to love without being loved in return, I would tear it to pieces. Josephine! Josephine. Remember what I've said sometimes to you? Nature has given me a decisive character, but it has built yours out of lace and delicate. Have you ceased to love me? Forgive me, love of my life, but my soul is racked by conflicting forces. My heart, obsessed by you, is full of tears which prostrate me with misery. I am distressed not to be calling you by name, but I should wait for you to write it. This year the war has changed beyond recognition. My soldiers are showing inexpressible confidence in me, but you alone are a source of distress to me. And you alone are the joy and torment of my life. I send a kiss to your children, whom you do not mention. But by God, if you did, the letters would be half as long. And then those visitors at 10 o'clock in the morning would not have the pleasure of seeing you. Farewell, Josephine. If you love me less, you could have never loved me at all. In that case, I should